back with another video, and this is a review of the new Aqualillies for Tarte. This is the face disc I recently bought this at Ulta, and I believe this is for their summer collection. To talk briefly about the collection, these are inspired by the Aqualillies swimming group, and they're synchronized swimmers, I believe, and it says there, the Aqualillies reinvent the classic art of water, ballet, and mesmerize audiences with their modern strength and vintage beauty. So this is kind of the inspiration for the whole entire line. I believe there is this one right here, which is the face kind of complete palette. There's a lipstick and a gel liner, and they repackaged the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes to have this Aqualillies kind of nice packaging. So inside the box, it's basically just this box enclosing the disc, and then, so in the box you get this little postcard thingamabobber, and kind of teaches you kind of a step-by-step how to create two different looks. This one is called Splish Splash, and the other one is Poolside Cool Side. So it's kind of like a nice, cool, kind of and more neutral, and then this one's a more dramatic look. So this little face disc contains 6 full-size Amazonian clay eyeshadows in there are exclusive Aqualilly shades, full-size Amazonian clay blush in Captivating, Amazonian clay matte bronzer in Park Avenue Princess, and then an Amazonian clay shimmering powder in Champagne, which is kind of a highlight shade. So as far as the packaging for this product, I think it's super gorgeous. It basically just resembles the box of the outside packaging. They put it into the kind of palette itself. It's about the same size of a CD, so it's kind of nice travel. It has a good size mirror inside as well. It has a pretty good sized mirror, which is awesome if you're on the go, and I believe this palette is a perfect palette if you were gonna go anywhere else. This contains your blush, your bronzer, your contour, your highlight, and the eyeshadows. I'm gonna take you to the swatches of the eyeshadows, and so you guys can kind of see what the pigmentation is like for the product. So right here is the swatch for the shade Captivating, and I've swatched right next to it just some of the peachier products that I do own. So this one right here is Tarte's Captivating. This one right here is NYX's Dusty Rose, which leans more pink, so it's not really that big of a good a dupe. And then this one right here is Hard Candy's Skinny Dipping, which is very similar to the Tarte Captivating shade. This one just has a little bit of sheen to it. And then this one right here is the Happy Booster Warm, which has the peaches shades, but this one is a lot sheerer and it has a lot more pink compared to the Tarte one right here on the bottom. So here is the swatch for Tarte's Champagne Highlighter, and I've swatched some of the highlight shades that I do own. This one right here is Wet n Wild's Reserve Your Cabana. It's a little bit muted. This is a lot more reflective compared to Reserve Your Cabana. And then this one right here is from my Sleek Contour Kit, which is not really a close color, it's a lot more skin tone. And this one right here is from the Lorac Tantalizer Highlighter, which is a lot more pink compared to this one. And then up top right here is a previous highlight shade that from Tarte that I own, and this one was called, I believe, Candlelight, and I believe they may be the same exact shade. So I really like this. The texture of this highlight shade is very nice. It's quite reflective, so you kind of have to use a light hand, but I really like that highlight shade. So here is the swatch of the matte bronzer that comes in the palette, and it's the Park Avenue Princess Matte Bronzer. And up top is just a couple of shades that I own as far as other kind of bronzer shades. This one right here is Max Blunt, and Max Blunt is a lot more red than the Park Avenue Princess. And the one on the very top is Sleek's Contour Kit, and it's a lot darker than Park Avenue Princess, but Park Avenue Princess actually works with my skin tone, even though it's a little bit lighter, but you can totally layer this shade. So here are the eyeshadow swatches on my arm. So starting with the top, this one is called Poolside, which is just kind of a tealish blue color, and I think it's the perfect name for this color. The next one on the bottom is called Sundeck, which is kind of a medium tone warm brown, and compared to Naked 2 from the Naked Basics, Naked 2 is a lot cooler compared to this color. The next one on the bottom is called Parasol. Parasol is just kind of a shimmery highlight color, and then swatched right next to it is Venus from the Naked Basics palette, and if you kind of take a look at it, they're pretty similar, they're almost the exact same color. And then the one on the bottom is called Barefoot, which is kind of like a golden highlight. It's not too much gold, but it's a lot warmer compared to Parasol on the top. The next one on the bottom is called Bikini, which is my favorite shade of the palette. It's kind of like a duochrome tan color that has a kind of, the base is tan and it kind of duochromes into kind of a pink color. And then I swatched on the top right here is from the Glinda palette, because that's the only duochrome eyeshadow I have, and this one's a lot more cool compared to this color right here. This color has excellent pigmentation and I absolutely love this color. And then the last one is Hammock, which is a matte dark brown, and then swatch on the top right here, this one is Faint from the Naked Basics, and then Crave. So if Crave and Faint had kind of a color in between, this would be the color that would go in between the colors from the Naked Basics. So there's those swatches again. So here are the swatches of the eyeshadows again. So as far as my thoughts on this palette, I think this palette is an amazing palette to have. I believe this is limited edition. The price for the palette is $38. The blush, the bronzer, the highlight is amazing. It's got amazing texture and it applies nicely. And as far as the staying power of these colors, they're actually really good. I'm not sure about the waterproof part. I don't know what they mean when they say waterproof, because I kind of dipped my hand with the swatches. I'm not sure if I was just taking that literally, but you know, they just kind of like melted away. I'm not really sure what they mean by waterproof, but for the most part, I think the staying power for these eyeshadows and the colors in general from the entire palette is really good. I absolutely love that this palette included neutrals, a matte brown, a dark brown, and a variation of highlights that you can choose from, and then that pop of color. Really perfect, a really perfect palette for the summertime when you just want to be simple and then you want that pop of blue eyeshadow, and it's just amazing. So as far as my recommendation, I highly recommend this palette. I'm so happy I bought this palette. I didn't intend to get this palette, but when I saw it in the store, I just kind of didn't realize that it's basically your complete face in a small palette, especially if you're traveling and you don't want to lug around so many things in your makeup bag. You basically have every single thing in this palette. You have your bronzer, you have your highlight, you have your perfect blush for the summer, and then you have your matte neutrals, and then you have your pop of color. So I highly recommend this product, and for $38, I believe this palette is an awesome value. Almost everything in this palette is full size except the highlight and the bronzer shade. As far as the availability of this palette, I got this at Ulta, and I just saw this recently at Sephora as well, so they're basically out now. And for $38, I think it's very much so well worth the money, and I highly recommend you guys get this product. I hope you guys found this review helpful. The face I'm wearing right now, I'm basically using the entire palette on my face, and I'm just gonna take you to a quick tutorial on how I got this look. I just basically used the neutrals on my eyes, the blush, the bronzer, and everything is on my face right now. I hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!